So we're going to pick Opus 4.6, the newest model from Claude AI, most capable for ambitious work. And we are going to do some ambitious testing. First, we're going to test the premise like usual. I'm going to take this prompt from the Claude Book Blueprint, which is a book available on my Ko-Fi, link in the description. Here's our prompt. Let's run it and see how fast Opus 4.6 comes back. We have the memory house. The premise is Dr. Nora Altman is a renowned memory researcher at Johns Hopkins who has developed a breakthrough procedure. She can selectively erase traumatic memories. Okay, I think that's a very good hook, a very good premise. There's a dual timeline, a domestic thriller layer, unreliable narrator twist. Why this works, the bestseller DNA. We have all of these reasons why this should be a commercial success. I like it. The tagline, she built her career on helping people forget. Now someone is making them remember, and it's killing them. That's a pretty good tagline. That could be on a back cover blurb in the part of the query letter. This gets an A+ for me. I don't know that it really shows the power of Opus 4.6. So let's see how this turns into a detailed outline. Here is the prompt. I filled in the details and already pasted in the premise that Opus just gave us. Let's hit go. First, Opus 4.6 is reading the skill file for creating documents. We want to really test how capable Opus 4.6 is for ambitious work. And this is an ambitious outline. Wow, I'm honestly really impressed. So it took a few minutes to come up with this outline, but it fixed its own validation error. And look how it gave me way more than I asked for. It gave me the comprehensive 30-chapter outline for the memory house, a full premise and comparable titles section. I didn't even ask for that. 8 detailed character profiles, 3-act structure, subplot thread, key turning points. And then there's the thematic architecture section with 5 primary themes in the final image. And I'm pretty sure I did not ask for that at all. Let's just scroll quickly through here. Look at the table of contents. This is a whole document that I can either save to Google Drive or download. This is actually formatted really well. It has all my characters. Here's the structure. Very well formatted. Look, there's even a table in here. I've never seen any AI do something quite this good before with the outline. So A+ for Opus 4.6 right now. Look at all these chapters. There's summaries, the POV, the word count, the subplots, the genre beats. Even if you're only going to use this tool to plan and plot out your story, this would be very helpful. But I do want to test how good the writing quality is with Opus 4.6. I think maybe we'll be really blown away. Here's the prompt we're using. Let's go. Okay, once again, I haven't been this excited about an AI model's ability to write and do writing related things for authors in a while. It took a minute to do this, but here it says, this is chapter 11, the novel's hinge point where everything pivots. And there's even an explanation of what the AI did as far as craft choices. Those are pretty good. This is a very long scene. Maybe it's the whole chapter even. I just asked for a scene, but it gave me, again, much more than I asked for. I'm not going to read all this to you, but I want to read the first paragraph. The lab was wrong at night. Not dangerous wrong, not haunted wrong, just off. The way a school is off when you walk through it on a Sunday. Same fluorescent hum, same smell of ethanol and cold circuitry, same constellation of green LEDs blinking across the monitoring array. But the absence of people changed the geometry of the place, made the hallways longer, the ceilings lower, made the equipment look less like instruments of healing and more like what they actually were. Machines built to reach inside a human skull and take things out. I actually really like that. I know that writing quality is subjective. Some people might hate it. Some people love it. I actually really like that. I would like to read something that was written in that style. You don't have to use AI to write, but maybe if you're writing a tricky scene, I think this gets another A++. I just wish there were higher limits. It was the next test is I'm giving it a short story I wrote and asking Opus 4.6 to take on the role of a team of editors and story coachers to rip my story apart, create a document of feedback, a detailed table of feedback, slideshow in an HTML page that's interactive and incorporates all the feedback, slideshow, etc. Again, we really want to test Opus 4.6 for the most ambitious work, and I think this is pretty ambitious. All right, we have the results from Opus 4.6. It looked at front-end design skills, PowerPoint skills, HTML analysis page. It gave us all of these documents. Here's the HTML page that it created for us. It also created a Skyfish summary and PowerPoint slides. Overall, I like the way this looks. We're going to scroll down. Here's the editorial summary. I guess these are the grades. I will take these grades any day. These are better than most of the grades that I got in school. Voice and character, premise and hook. My lowest grade is polish and cleanup. Guys are usually pretty nice to you when you ask for feedback. So I'm going to take this with a grain of salt, but I sure would like it to be true. Here's strengths and weaknesses. We have a killer opening line, escalation engine, I guess are warnings, overwritten in spots, deflated ending. Ouch, that hurts a little bit. Let's see what else it says. Key moments and takeaways, opening hook, craft. This is kind of cool that you can just go through here and read. Wow, imagine if you did this to your whole novel. It'd be a lot of great information. Rewrite, click each revision to expand the before and after comparison. Suggested revisions. This is actually pretty cool. Let's just do another one. Every note sorted by priority. So we have priority, category, location, issue, suggestion, even has paragraph numbers. This is really helpful. I think it looks nice. And I could go through and make all these changes. Let's see about the Skyfish summary. It's probably talking about a lot of the same things. Here's this table again. That's fine. Let's go to the PowerPoint. I think this is going to be a lot of the same information, just in PowerPoint slide version. And yes, that's correct. I don't love the colors, but these slides are pretty nice. I will say that I like this, but I'm not quite as impressed as I was about the outline and the actual writing quality. Maybe I didn't push it far enough with asking for edits and revisions. We maybe could get more out of this, but I'm happy with it. Let's see what's next. The last test that I want to run on Opus 4.6, at least today, is a test that I gave Grok 4.0, I think, and Grok failed it miserably at that time. I want to give this to Opus 4.6 because I think it might do a lot better. Here's the prompt and the challenge. Write 6 300-word stories about 6 strangers whose lives connect. The catch? You can read them in any order. That's 720 possible sequences, and every single one has to make narrative sense. I sent that to Opus 4.6 earlier, and it says this is a pure creative writing challenge. Here's the approach that it decided to take. 6 strangers connected by a single urban intersection on the same rainy Tuesday evening. Each story contains a signal object or a detail that appears minor in isolation but becomes significant when you read another story. The connections are bidirectional, which I think is very interesting. If you read story A before story B, you get one revelation. If you read B before A, you get another one. And here are all the stories. There are 6 of them. I've already read this earlier, and I will tell you that I really like these stories. I'm going to do my best to either copy them in the description or put a link to a temporary link to a file so you can read them. I think they deserve to be read. I like the writing a lot. In fact, reading, I think each one of these stories, I got emotional, which I typically don't do that with AI writing. I've liked lots of other AI writing before, even though it's never really perfect. But in this particular case, I like the voice, I like the style, I like the writing quality. These stories actually prompted an emotional reaction in me, which I think is their intention. I think they're really good. And I think Opus 4.6 nailed this. I think it nailed the premise, did really well with the writing. I think it did okay with the revisions and probably could do better. And I think it nailed this particular challenge. I would love to do more creative challenges like this. So let me know what you think about Opus 4.6. Have you tested it? What do you think about it? Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.